Managing your money can actually be really, really tricky. And I'm hoping that in this video, by the end of it, you're going to be able to manage your own money, understand why it's actually really, really important to manage your own money, and follow the same process that I'm using to manage my own money as well. And I'll give you a little screenshot of my spreadsheets and how I'm managing my money. So if this sounds good, let me know down in the comments why you decided to click on this video and if you want to see more videos like this as well. And I know a lot of people are struggling in the UK, especially with money right now. So drop a comment down below and help someone out with how you're currently managing your money. So what is my mindset towards managing my money? Obviously, I'm not buying, expensive clothing or going out and buying a Rolex or whatever I'm doing. I'm typically quite sensible with my money. I like to think so anyway. So I'm hoping that my mindset towards money can give you a little bit of help if you are struggling, especially with the cost of living and all that kind of stuff. So I guess the first thing is I do have my kind of further goals that I want to accomplish. I do have, 20-year goals, 10-year goals, 5-year goals. But for my money, I am managing it for now, so right now, and also 12 months in the future. I'm not one of these people that won't go and buy something that they want because it means, if I save this £3 now, in 30 years' time, that could be worth £7. Like, I'm just not that fussed, right? I want to be making more than that anyway through other means. So me just saving here and there, I don't think it's going to do anything. If you disagree, let me know. But personally, that's what I think. So if I want to increase my happiness right now and give myself some gratification, I will go and do it, right? I'm not going to be saving loads. But then I also do have my long-term goals and I do have those in mind. So I am trying to save as much as possible. So, if it's a kind of £300, £400, £500 thing, I'm thinking about it, right? But if it's £3, £4, £5, who cares? The next thing is kind of leading on from that. Don't put loads of pressure on yourself. You don't need to put pressure on yourself when managing your money, right? Lots of people stress about money. A lot of people worry about how much money I'm going to have. Obviously, it can be tough, but don't stress yourself out. Stressing is not going to do anything for you, and it's just going to put unnecessary pressure on you, and if you're living with anyone, it's going to put pressure on them as well. If you want to, learn a skill or you want to progress a skill that you're currently learning, don't feel bad about buying a book or buying a course or getting a mentor for a month, right? Don't feel bad about that because you're progressing your skills that can then get you more money in the future. So I just want to say that up front, right? Don't put too much pressure on yourself. And if you are trying to better yourself, don't feel bad about spending money on those things. So how am I currently splitting my money up? Obviously, it's not perfect. It could be better, but I think it's quite good. I think it's quite good for where I currently am. And I think it's quite good for what my goals are in the future. Around about 50% of the money goes into investing. So currently that is trading on a 20 to 60 day time frame, kind of in between day trading and investing. That is what I'm currently doing with my investing money. Now, I do hold a little bit of Bitcoin, I do hold a little bit of stock, but not really much, like 100 quid, 200 quid. So 50% goes into investments, 40% goes into expenses, and then 10% goes on to whatever I want it to go on to, so random stuff. As kind of time's gone on, I've got better and better and better at managing my money. I'd say about a year ago, I was around a 30% savings rate. What that means is all of your money combined, how much are you able to save after your expenses? So, take your monthly earnings, take your monthly expenses, monthly income, and what is your savings rate? Right? For me, my goal is to be 75%. So I want to be able to save. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to have 10% to do investing, 75% saving, 10% expenses. It literally just means my expenses is 25% of my total money going into my bank. That's what I'm trying to aim for. It is a little kind of, it's a good target to have. I'm currently at around 50 something percent, 55, 54%. Obviously, it's not 100% accurate all the time, because on some months you might want to buy, I don't know, a bottle of whiskey or a different watch or something for your computer or whatever it is, right? It's not going to be exact, but if you can get it around 50%, you're in a very, very good position. If you can get it around 75%, you're in an amazing position where you can potentially retire very, very quickly if you manage your money correctly. So how do I manage my money? So I've split it up for you in terms of percentages. How do I actually manage my money? First of all, you need to get it into a spreadsheet. So here is my spreadsheet. You can have a little look. Obviously, I've taken out the numbers, but you can have a look at it and you can see that I've split it up into income, expenses, and then I've done it where it shows me how much I would need to retire and my investment calculator and what I could expect with my investments. I advise this for everyone because it puts everything into perspective. If I spend an extra £100 this month, how is that going to affect me 10 years down the road? I can see that instantly as soon as I put that into my expenses. If I increase my income by a certain amount, how is that going to affect my expenses? How is that going to affect my investments? And therefore projections into 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years into the future, and I can see what's going on. So after you've put all your data into your spreadsheet, are you making or are you losing money on a monthly basis? If you're losing money, I'll give you a few quick tips on how to not lose money. First of all, obviously this isn't easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. You're not going to have all the things that you want, but cancel memberships to things that you don't need. Do you need Netflix and Disney and Now TV and I don't know any others? Do you need all of them, right? Do you need all these subscriptions, Spotify, all the kind of subscription things that are for mainly entertainment? Do you need them? I'll tell you the answer. The answer is no, right? You don't need them. You've got YouTube that's free. You've got Twitch that's free. You've obviously got kind of TV that a lot of people pay for. You don't need all these streaming services. You just don't. There's enough out there for entertainment nowadays. You don't need to be spending £40, £50 a month on streaming services. So if you cancel 3 of them, that's then £30 a month that you're saving. Does that help you in any way, right? You're saving over £300 a year. Now, I'm not saying you should penny pinch, right? If you're going to Starbucks once, there are other coffee and beverage services, obviously. If you're going to one of these places once a week and you're spending £5, there's not that much point in stopping that if you get X amount of enjoyment from it. But I think balance it out, right? If you would rather have the coffee over the subscriptions, cancel the subscriptions. If you'd have it the other way, then do it the other way, right? Try and streamline your expenses to cut it down. But the main thing I would say is increasing your income. How can you increase your income? Take on freelance roles. Take on some extra work here and there, right? I don't suggest obviously working yourself into the ground because that's not going to be healthy and all the rest of it. But talk to your manager and ask them for a raise. If they don't want to give you a raise, ask them why. Right? The majority of places can give you a raise. They're basically just trying to keep money to themselves. If it's a startup, go, can you pay me this amount in this amount of time and spread it over whatever. Do profit splits if you want some kind of way of earning money in a startup. If they still say no, go and get a job somewhere else, right? If you really want to take your finances seriously, go and get a job somewhere else where they're going to pay you what you think you're worth. Now, obviously what you think you're worth is not what you're actually worth most of the time. But if you think you're being underpaid, go and get a job somewhere else. You don't need to stay where you currently are. If you're saving some of that money, put an automatic deposit into a different bank account or savings pot and just ignore it. Don't even focus on it. Okay, this needs to be automatic. How can this be in the back of my mind? How can I not think about it? And how can I save a good amount of money that isn't really affecting my lifestyle much, but can make a big impact to myself in 5-10 years? The next thing I do want to say is figuring out a goal for yourself. Now, it's very, very easy to just go, oh, I want $1 million, I want 10 mil, I want $1 billion, I want 5 billion, whatever it is, right? Whatever that number is, what I would say is scrap it, okay? And I would use this formula to give yourself a goal. So, this is not my formula, by the way, but take your expenses, whatever that is, on a monthly basis, times that by 12, and then times that again by 25. Take that and put that as your goal, and that is the amount that you're going to need to invest in anything that can produce you 7 to 10% a year, whatever you want to do, right? However you want to do that, 7 to 10% a year. Then, every single year, take out 4%. That is a way for you to retire, have enough money to pay for your expenses, and never have to work again in your life. Obviously, if the market crashes, if something bad happens, if you lose the property or you lose your account for stocks or you whatever, then you'll have to do it again, obviously. But for basic terms, you will never have to work again because the investments coming in will pay for themselves and you've got a small couple of percent every single year to keep up with inflation. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. It was a little bit of a longer video, going back to the good old days in the YouTube channel. 15-20 minute videos of me rambling on. But yeah, I think I do want to get back to that because a lot of you did enjoy it back then, and I've not really been that consistent with my YouTube channel. I do want to be consistent with it, and I'm trying to push myself to be consistent with it. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.